بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Inshallah ta'ala, this is a quick demonstration of Hajj. Hajj, as we know, is the fifth pillar in Arkan al-Islam. The first pillar is Shahada, Salah, Zakah, Sawm, and then the fifth pillar is to make Hajj to Mecca. It includes a lot of works, a lot of actions. So you have to study it before you go to Hajj. A lot of people, they do not study Hajj or Umrah. Umrah will be much simple than Hajj. But you have to study because it includes a lot of actions. And if you miss some of these, you might miss something that is one of the pillars, one of the very important parts of Hajj, and you do not know. A lot of people, this is what happened, this is not just for fun. A lot of people come and they say, a couple of people were talking, oh, do you remember, when we went between Safa and Marwa? I said, what are you talking about? What's Safa and Marwa? So somebody try to imagine somebody went to Mecca and did not do sa'i bain al-Safa wal Marwa. That's why I'm saying that we need to study ahkam al-Hajj, or the rules of Hajj, inshallah ta'ala. I will give you a very quick demonstration. Feel free, inshallah, to stop me only when you need, not about the details. If you have a question that you think you can delay to the end, we will have a chance at the very end, inshallah ta'ala, for the critical questions. But if you think that there is a question that you need to ask right now, or for those who made Hajj before and you think that I skipped something that is important to mention here, feel free, inshallah ta'ala, to just give me a hint, because we need to compress it as much as we can, inshallah ta'ala. We have pillars of Hajj, very important parts of Hajj that everybody should maintain and practice. You cannot miss these things. Then we have some wajib things to do that are not like pillars. If you miss them, you can make up for them. So we do not recommend anybody to miss any of even the details of Hajj, but we have something that if you miss Hajj. Your Hajj is you miss it completely. Some other wajibat, we call them wajibat, that if you miss them, sometimes you can offer a sacrifice for the sake of Allah, and this will be enough to make up for the missed thing. And we have additional parts, or sunan. It doesn't mean that they are not important. No, everything in Hajj is important, but as I mentioned again, we have pillars that everybody would do. Before you go to make Hajj, or Umrah, you have to prepare yourself morally and psychologically. So you make sure that you are now going to complete the fifth pillar of Islam. So you need to be ready for it. Morally, you get rid of all the duyun, the debts. Don't be worried. I'm going to put some details on this. If you have a salary or a certain plan that you have certain installments and your salary is enough to pay for these installments, that's okay, no problem. But I'm talking about the debt that you either pay for it or you go for Hajj. No, pay for this debt and do not go for Hajj. What I mean is, get rid of all of these little things and big things that you can get rid of them before you go to Hajj. Then try to forgive everybody else and try to ask forgiveness from everybody else. Do not go to Hajj while you are boycotting your mother or brother in Islam or sister in Islam or any relative. You have to clean yourself, because now you're going for the journey of life, the journey of salvation. This is the most important journey in the life of Muslim. Prepare yourself for it, study it, try to, as if you're leaving this life, write down your will, if you don't do it, all of these things, as if you are leaving this life. Then, after you do this, you are going to make Hajj right now. This is the day that you're leaving. We have 3 types of Hajj. We're not going to go to the details. I'm going to mention the type that you are going to do, because this is what everybody is doing, and what is most of the ulama said this is the best, because the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he didn't do this very mode of Hajj or type of Hajj, but he said when he finished the Hajj that he has done, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, I hope if the time would go back, I would do tamattu, that we will mention right now. There is no, the difference between the three categories. How can you make Hajj? The three categories are very slight difference between them. It's either you make Hajj and Umrah together, or you make Hajj and Umrah first, and then Hajj, or you go for making Hajj by itself. Clear? You have three types of it. You go to make Al-Ifrad, just Hajj by itself, no Umrah with it. In this journey, you're doing just Hajj. This is one type. The other type, you do Hajj and Umrah, and then we'll have two types of this. Hajj and Umrah separately, Umrah, and you are done with it, then you would do Hajj after it. This is the second type. Or the third type, that you're gonna do Hajj and Umrah together with mixed arkan, or with mixed sha'air and manasik in between. The one that will do Umrah by itself, then you finish it, then you make Hajj separate. This is a tamattu, called Hajj tamattu. Clear? طيب? So now we have certain mawaqit, or before we get to the miqat, talking about the preparation of Hajj. Let's give you an idea about the mawaqit first. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said different stations around the Kaaba, not just in Haram, but around it, outside Kaaba, one in north, one in south, one in east, like 5 different places, that these stations or landmarks or cities, anybody who is coming to make Hajj or Umrah, say for example that this is Mecca, right here in Kaaba, and here we are on the map right now. We have Medina right here. We have a miqat for the people of Medina, or anybody coming beyond Medina, from behind this landmark, that if you are coming to Mecca, and you want to make Hajj or Umrah, you cannot pass this landmark here. They will be around the Kaaba, different cities, different places around the Kaaba. If you're coming from this direction, north for example, you cannot pass this miqat without what? Without getting to Ihram. Okay? So for the people who are coming from Medina, you have Dhul Hulayfa. It's few miles away from Medina. You cannot pass it without getting to Ihram, the state of Ihram, where certain things will be illegal for you to do, regular things. We will touch on this in detail. So now we have mawaqit. What are mawaqit? Landmarks or places, like 5 places. Dhul Hulayfa, this is Yalamlam, this is Rabigh, this is Dhatu Irq, and so on. These places, people who are coming from these directions cannot pass and come to Kaaba to make Hajj or Umrah without having Ihram before coming to this place, miqat. For the people who are coming from United States, we're coming from the west. So the miqat for the people of the west is nowadays called Rabigh. You do not worry about this. They will let you know in the airplane. If you're coming by you're going by the airplane, they will let you know that here is the miqat. What is the benefit of this? Because you have to make the intention before, when they let you know, you have to make the intention that I get to Hajj, using certain words that we would say, before this time. You cannot pass it and get to Mecca or pass this miqat while having no niyyah or intention. Okay? This intention is the first pillar of Islam. You cannot pass the miqat without what? Without what? Niyyah. Without niyyah. What's niyyah? Intention. Intention that you say it. Okay. Clear? Is this clear so far? Very important. You do not come like you are coming from this direction. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says those people coming from Yemen or from this direction, from this city, they are not supposed to pass this city without starting Ihram. It's not in Mecca, it's outside Mecca. Now we're talking about Amman, cities. So people coming from Yemen, for example, they are not supposed to pass this city without having this Ihram. You have your intention while having the clothes of Ihram for men, as we will mention in detail right now, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, clear the point of mawaqit? Clear enough? طيب. So for the people who are coming from the west, they will let you know in the airplane that this is the time you make the niyyah for it. For men, you cannot pass, in order to have ihram, you cannot pass these places of these cities without having the ihram on. It's not only by putting this on that now you get to the state of ihram. No. It's by putting it on, and then when you get to this place, you have the niyyah while putting this on, for men. And for women also, but without putting this on.